The WWE is always welcoming exciting new wrestlers to take their bumps in the squared circle, but one of their more recent signings is pretty unusual and interesting. In this video, we'll be revealing who the next superstar to rock the WWE Universe will be, and speculate a little on what his career at the company might look like. So let's just get into it. First off, the Maverick has arrived. And we're not talking about just any Maverick, that's right, one of the most famous, or should we say infamous, YouTubers is joining the WWE. Logan Paul has officially signed with the world's biggest wrestling promotion, flanked by interim CEO Stephanie McMahon and her very scary husband Triple H. Not much is known about the deal right now except for the fact it's a multi-year deal. He announced with a video on his social media that he'll be debuting at SummerSlam, which was already shaping up to be a really exciting event for other reasons. If the SummerSlam thing is true, it implies something else about Logan's WWE career. He might be skipping the development territories and even NXT, heading straight for the main roster. That's huge for someone who doesn't seem to have any background in wrestling. Or does he? Something that might get lost in the shuffle of Logan's controversial antics is that he actually has a wrestling background from his high school. That's how a lot of wrestlers get their start, but obviously Logan didn't pursue wrestling very seriously until now. More relevant to his hiring at WWE would be his brief boxing career. While his brother Jake has committed pretty seriously to making his name in the boxing ring, Logan has had a single amateur bout and a single professional one. That unfortunately left him with a 1-0 amateur record and a 0-1 pro record, but we can count that as experience in the ring. If we're really looking for reasons the WWE may have hired Logan, it has to be because Logan put on a great show at no less than the Showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania 38. There he teamed up with The Miz to take on the father-son Mysterio duo. For someone with very little ring experience, Logan did quite well, and along with the more experienced wrestlers, he put on a hell of a show. At the end of the match, he ate a skull-crushing finale from The Miz, and the crowd loved it, so he's already got heel heat. In fact, it was apparently The Miz who endorsed Logan for the WWE. He was impressed with Logan's dedication to the training and his commitment to performing in the ring. Logan may well have The Miz to thank for his WWE deal. So what's Logan Paul's career at WWE gonna look like? In the video we mentioned earlier, Logan threatened to wipe the floor with The Miz at SummerSlam as payback for the betrayal at WrestleMania. We could probably figure from there that Logan Paul will be getting his start on Raw with the feud against The Miz, and it might involve Dominic Mysterio as well. But what we're really curious about is where WWE Creative could go with him from there. Unlike other wrestlers, who have characters created for them or they create their own characters, Logan can't be separated from his identity. His reputation from YouTube and boxing will follow him everywhere he goes, and that's going to bias fans towards him or against him. For instance, the WrestleMania audience enjoyed seeing Logan get beat up. Will that ever change? Can Logan ever be a face? Now, all that being said, many wrestling pundits have observed that heel is the best place to be as a wrestler from a writing standpoint. Creative has always had an easier time generating heel heat than face heat. Poor Roman Reigns floundered as a baby face for years before finally being redeemed as a heel. Many of the most iconic wrestlers of all time were heels. Could Logan join the list? And just to wrap up this segment, what other celebrities could join the WWE next? Since Logan Paul has been called up from being a regular celebrity to being a WWE superstar, it makes us wonder who might be next. Bad Bunny might have signed with the WWE already if he wasn't pursuing a career in Hollywood instead. The man has made quite a few appearances, including at the 2021 Royal Rumble and a few episodes of Monday Night Raw, briefly becoming the WWE 24/7 champion. He even had a match at WrestleMania 37, and he was pretty impressive in it. Supposedly he was training at the Performance Center, but Bad Bunny didn't join the company in the end, at least not yet. Fun fact about this, Bad Bunny's WWE encounters also happen to revolve around The Miz. Most of the other celebrity appearances on WWE are usually short-term affairs, either for guest matches or as supporting characters and storylines. But Logan Paul's WrestleMania appearance always felt inspired by Bad Bunny's. Could this be the start of a tradition of celebrities auditioning for WWE at WrestleMania? It'd be an interesting angle for the company to take, if nothing else. Now time for some other news. First, what else might be going down at SummerSlam? Apart from Logan's debut, there's a lot of exciting stuff lined up for this year's SummerSlam. The main event is going to see Brock Lesnar challenge Roman Reigns for the newly united Undisputed Universal Championship. This match is going to follow up on Roman's big win at WrestleMania 38, and it'll be a last man standing match. WWE has also confirmed that this will be the climax of their feud, and we can't wait to see how it ends. John Cena has been celebrating celebrating 2 decades at the WWE, and he exchanged some cryptic social media posts with Austin Theory in his US Championship. Theory is already set to defend the belt against Bobby Lashley, but for all we know, you can't see the plot twist coming. Finally, there are rumors that Bayley may make her return at or around SummerSlam. The WWE Horsewoman has been out of commission for over a year now, ever since she tore her ACL while training at the Performance Center. She was previously rumored to return at WrestleMania, which would have been huge, but that didn't pan out. Here's hoping we get her back when SummerSlam kicks off on the 30th of July. Up next, we have some bad news about Roman Reigns. For a long time, some fans were hoping that Roman Reigns would triumph in his feud against Brock Lesnar, just so the WWE's main titles could be held by a full-time wrestler rather than a part-timer. Those fans must be pretty annoyed right now that since becoming the holder of both belts, Roman has switched to something of a part-time schedule too. We haven't seen much of Reigns since his win at WrestleMania 38, and he's only now surfaced in the lead up to his rematch with Brock Lesnar. This has led to a weird situation at the WWE where the biggest prize in the company hasn't been defended even once since April, and even post-SummerSlam, Roman is only rumored to appear at Clash at the Castle, and is missing from the poster for Extreme Rules. Rumor has it that Reigns will be defending his title against Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. Spoilers for SummerSlam? Maybe. But then there are other rumors that Reigns will remain champ until WrestleMania 39, where he'll defend it against The Rock, who's another part-timer. There's no making sense of WWE's strategy with their unified Universal Championship, but we're concerned about what's going on with Roman. If he had projects outside the WWE, that would be one thing, but there's nothing of that sort going on. We do know that he's had some history of battling leukemia, and we're sure hoping that his part-time schedule has nothing to do with that. All things considered, it's getting to a point where if you stan a wrestler at the WWE, you'd better hope he doesn't win the Universal Championship. Taking on a part-time schedule seems like a part of the package for whoever holds that time. Although it's funny that Roman used to be the most booed wrestler in WWE, and now that he's gone part-time, fans miss him a lot. Meanwhile, Logan's brother Jake is going through a bit of a rough patch. That might come as a surprise to you, since Jake recently accepted a challenge to fight none other than Mike Tyson. Their bout, which is supposed to happen sometime this year, would be the biggest addition to Paul's boxing credibility yet, but that's later. Right now, Jake's probably more worried about the fact that he's, according to Logan, broke. Apparently, Jake had taken the lion's share of his boxing earnings and invested it all into crypto, and crypto's down pretty bad right now. The $40 million that he would have bought in cryptocurrencies would have all lost a massive chunk of their value. Even the stalwart Bitcoin wasn't safe from this crash, hitting its lowest point since December 2020. So while we're looking forward to seeing how Jake would fare against Tyson, we're thinking that he's more looking forward to his purse from that match. That's it for our video today. How do you feel about Logan Paul joining the WWE? We know the Paul brothers are controversial, but do you think Logan will be a good fit at the company? And what kind of angles could WWE Creative come up with for him? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.